If you have a CRM with tons of contacts, maybe you've got 1,000 contacts, maybe you have 100,000 contacts in there, and you're not regularly cleaning the data, you're going to have two problems. Data decays, which means that over time, basically, people move. They move jobs, they maybe change their job title, maybe their work email isn't valid anymore. If you are not cleaning it regularly, automatically, the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to have someone manually doing that, and that's going to take, well, it's going to take literally forever. And it's not even possible, really, if you have huge number of records. Number two, maybe more worrying, is you might be sending out, whether it's in follow-up sequences, nurture sequences, all these kinds of things, either to like invalid emails, so you're wasting your time and it's not effectively closing deals, but also you might reach out to records to people saying absolute nonsense. Like you might be reaching out to them and saying something or asking them about their current company, but they've moved company, right? Like it's so you don't want to do that, particularly given that a lot of the times, even if a lead leaves to another job, they might still be a valid lead for you because they're in a similar position at a very similar company that could be a closed one for you. So you don't want to be making that bad impression. By the way, I recorded this video like 10 minutes. I forgot to share my screen. So this is take two. Okay, all right. So I'm going to show you how you can actually do this on autopilot. We're going to use HubSpot as an example, and we're going to do it with Clay. Let's dive into it. So I am sharing my screen. Okay, so here we are in the table. What I'm going to do is run through it so you understand how it works, what the workflow is, and then we're going to use a live example. So the first thing is we're importing from HubSpot. So if I click this, you can see that we've got the CRM, we've got the enrichment, the CRM integration with Clay with HubSpot, so you can do this automatically. I think in a separate video, I might do an example where you can do it with a webhook, because you can also do this with any other CRM, and you can even do it with HubSpot and Salesforce, slightly less expensively too. Anyway, but what you can see is you can run this on a schedule. This is the really good part as well, because it means that you can set this up and just let it run for you autopilot in the background on any regular schedule you'd like, every week, every month, every day, whatever it might be. Okay, so we get some information here. Now you can see here I've got ID, first name, last name. Don't worry about that for a moment. Email, company name, job title, LinkedIn URL, domain. Now you might not always have all of that information, right? That comes in from your records. Excuse me. But likely you have some of the information. So we get this information. The first thing I've done here is I've put a formula that is very simply going to get the full name from the first name and the last name. And that's purely because we need a full name data point for some of the enrichments that we do. Second thing we do as well here is with the domain. Sometimes the domain might come in with like www, https, all that kind of stuff. So this formula very simply takes out the root domain, because again, sometimes we need that if we're matching and all that kind of stuff. The next thing we do is this formula, which is really important. What it does is it basically is going to look at all the information you have or don't have for that matter, and it's going to output it in here. And if you don't have certain parts of the data, it just won't include them. It will take that field out. The reason why this is really important is because for different contacts, you might have different bits of data. And across, let's say, 100,000 CRM contacts, for different for different enrichments in the rest of this workflow, if you have to make all the possible scenarios of where you have, okay, run this if you have this and this and this, but don't run this if you only have, it becomes ridiculously impractical. So by putting it all into into this one box here, we can just use this one singular data point as the sort of truth base of like, here's the contact details we currently have for this record, everything is here. And you'll see where we use that in a moment. Then what we do is if we have a HubSpot, if we have an email currently for the contact, we validate it. So we're using HTTP API with Million Verifier because I like it. It's really good value. And it's going to just tell us if it's valid or not. Because if the email is still valid, it means we can still email it. But if they've changed places or whatever it might be and the email's not valid anymore, then what will happen is we run this Prospero enrichment to find the work email. And that will hopefully find one that is now current. And then we merge and find put that final email here, either the original one, if it's valid, or the Prospero one. And by the way, as we're doing this, I'm showing you like a simplified version of this workflow. But for a particular client in a particular use case, we might add waterfalls in here. We might add more conditional logic, depending on what they find happens often with them. The next thing we want to do is we want to find the LinkedIn profile. It's really important that we find the LinkedIn profile URL, because that's usually going to be the place where we figure out the job change or the position change or the company change, because that's where they're going to update their information. So I made this prompt here that's going to do it really well. And this is where we're using that contact details formula that I mentioned, which is the source of truth for here's all the information we currently have about them to go and find the LinkedIn profile. So we give it this information and we say, I want you to go and scrape the web to find this LinkedIn profile. And we're kind of telling it like, you got to think about what that is. Now, so then it goes and finds the LinkedIn URL. If we can't find it with the Clagent, with the AI agent, then we use Detagma to go and do this in a more simplified way, where we're using the full name, we're using the actually that should be F name, full name, the final email, and the domain to do that. And then basically, either we found it here or we found it here, and then we put that in the final LinkedIn URL. Okay, once we've got a LinkedIn URL, we can now check what is their actual current job title, and current company domain. And again, we're using a Clagent for this. I've done the enriched LinkedIn profile. It does the same errors I've found, and I think this is a lot better. And so what we do is we give it the final LinkedIn URL, and this time you can see what we're saying is we're giving it this information. We're trying to help it to understand. Should have brought some water with me. Try to understand the complexity of a LinkedIn profile. So you can see here we're saying be careful, because sometimes they'll have a position that is technically current. It's not really their current job. It's just a partnership or something like that. Often you can tell because it's not the top experience. And we give it this long profile here, a long prompt here to go and do that properly. The other thing that we do, as you can see, is we ask it to give us the title, company name, and company domain separately in JSON format, which we've done here. I actually think if I do this, I don't need to write that there. But anyway, the reason we're doing that is because it's just much easier for us to then pass out those 3 data points separately without having to add another either formula or another AI run to analyze the HTML body text or the prose that come out of a usual GPT response or a AI response to figure out, okay, where is the URL, where is this, and where is that. Once we've done that, we've got one here that's like checking if the company has changed. We don't really need this, to be honest, I don't think, but the main thing is then at the end here. So what we do is we then look them up in the HubSpot CRM. Now, if they're already there, then we just update it with the information from here. And what we would do in the update object enrichment is we would include all the information we want. So we want to update it with probably going to be these things, right? Their current job title, current company domain. And if they, because we're importing from HubSpot, because we're doing a cleaning, this almost certainly going to always be found in the lookup, so we'll update it. But if we were doing something different, let's say we wanted to update your CRM with all this information from a different source, could be from like website visitors, maybe you have a different CSV somewhere, then what we would do is we would do the lookup. It probably wouldn't find it, or it might, by the way, which is important, because if it does exist, we don't want to create duplicates. But if it isn't there, then we would create it as a new contact in the CRM. So really nice and clean workflow. It's also just very quickly important to remember that like this is a simplified example, so we could add loads of things to this. So if a client was saying to us, well, this is really great, but can we also find like, tell us if their company is like when their company was founded, or give us some information about what they sell on their company. Maybe also add like a lead scoring here, like based on certain bits of information, like how big is the company, where are they based? Can we add a lead score, like, based on how qualified they are for us? We can do all that as well, but I just want to show you a simplified version of cleaning here. Okay, so let's run a live example. So I found someone here who I thought we could use, David Alexander. I don't know David. David, thank you for being our example for today. He is the founder at Big View Digital. So we're going to add his information in there. And what I'm going to do is I don't want to give everything, because I want to show you like how it works where we don't necessarily have all the information. So often there's a HubSpot ID, not really important. Well, it is important, sorry, when we're doing the lookup, but not important for the enrichment part. Okay, so first name, David. I've got the information here because I've tested it. So you'll see now this F name is going to upload. There we go, David Alexander. Then let's give it the company name, which was Big View Digital. Let's not give it the LinkedIn URL. We want it to find that. Let's give it the domain, because we do need to give it a univerify. And also, let's do this. Let's not give it a job. Let's give it an email that like clearly isn't the right email. So let's say, you know, d@.com. That's clearly not correct, right? Let's see. Is it there? Yeah, it was there. Okay, so the first thing it's doing is in fact, it's already found an email, but it's first running here. So this should come out as invalid, obviously. You can see the contact details. It's just given us, actually, sorry, if I just open this. So you can see here, it's given us the information we do have, which is the name we gave it an email, we gave it the company name, and we gave it the company domain. Hasn't input stuff we don't have. Okay, so obviously it's invalid. So immediately you can see it's found the right email here, david@bigviewdigital.com, which is really good. Now the clay agent is running to find the LinkedIn URL. So let's see if it can do that. And the idea here, by the way, is like if the email is invalid, if it was an actual email but it was invalid, we can use the other information to find, let's say if they've changed jobs, like what's their new email address. Okay, so this is running. Shouldn't take that long, I don't think. Oh, there we go. Let's check is it correct? Have they found the right email? Looks like they have. Perfect. So that's the right David. Okay, so we go back into here. So we don't need to run this. So we've got the file linked URL. Now it's looking at that URL and it's going to try and figure out what is the current job title and the rest of it. Done very quick. And that's accurate, right? So the job title, we know if we double check it again, we can see he is in fact the founder at Big View Digital. The other cool thing is I prompted it so that it wouldn't just do that, but also go another layer deeper, go onto the page of the company from the LinkedIn URL and find that company's URL, which you can see it's done here correctly as well. And then this is just going to find if there's a company change. So the answer should be no. There we go. And then we haven't connected the CRM, so it's not going to run, but we would then do all this lookup stuff here. So hopefully that's cool. That's a really cool, clean way of showing you in a very simplified workflow how you can automatically update your contacts here, check what their current contact information is, find the new contact information, enrich it, check if their changes have taken place. Obviously, we could add loads more things here, loads more waterfalls to make it more accurate, to make it more relevant, to augment it with better intelligence, and then immediately automatically update your CRM. And you can run that scheduled manual. You can run that scheduled whenever you'd like as well. And I always forget to say this, by the way, but subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. So there'll be more videos of this coming up. If you want us, Spring Drive, that is, to help you do this kind of stuff and build these kind of tables and just basically transform your GTM with AI, get in touch and go to the website springdrive.co. See you later.